When I got told I had HIV, yeah, it was a shock at first, but then I was like, okay, I'm gonna live with it and I'll be fine at the end.
I always motivated myself to do well because I believed that I could, and I didn't see myself as any different.
The study shows that you should see everyone the same. The young people without HIV, they don't have to take meds, they don't have to go to hospital all the time, they don't have to miss school. We're still all the same, we're all the same.
We are here to tell you about AALPHI. It's all about growing up with HIV.
Hi, I'm Becky. I was one of the young people involved in putting the findings of the AALPHI study together. The AALPHI study was set up to learn about what effect growing up with HIV might have on our development as well as our physical and mental health.
In this study, we did blood, heart, and other physical tests.
And we answered lots of questions about our lives in interviews and online.
There were questions about sex, drugs and alcohol, feelings and emotions.
And questions about taking medicines and transition from child services to adult services.
Finally, we played some computer games to test cognitive abilities, memory and problem-solving tests.
To see how we are doing, researchers compared us to over 100 HIV-negative young people, and so far the results are really positive. In terms of mental and emotional health, the study showed there were no differences between us and HIV-negative young people.
We are no more likely to be anxious, depressed, or to self-harm than HIV-negative young people.
It's really surprising because the negative is so, if they're also stressed and with anxiety, you now realize that everyone is the same. We're all humans at the end of the day.
1 in 4 people are depressed for some reason, and everyone goes through their own stuff in life. So no matter who you are or what you've got, you're gonna have anxiety or depression over something.
Most young people get depressed because the regular reasons, like losing a family member, issues inside the home or inside school. But then there can also be things around stigma around HIV and the struggle of accepting your status.
We are just normal people, but we have to hide a whole aspect of our lives from everyone we know and love in case we get rejected. That's why I feel like a lot of us are sad, because we have to defend ourselves when we shouldn't have to, because we're scared of rejection.
The study showed boys are more likely to get depressed.
And girls are more likely to self-harm.
You know, the stereotype of boys being strong through everything. So when a boy is told you have HIV, then, they're shattered, but they can't show it to people. So they just keep it bottled up inside.
In terms of girls self-harming, that's also their way of saying, I need help. Having the support network is essential. Literally everybody should have somewhere that they can go for support and for guidance, and even just for a hug.
About 40% of the young people reported missing medicine, especially at the weekends.
Almost a third had missed 2 days or more in the previous month.
Why people would miss medicine, they might be just saying, I don't have HIV. They don't accept it. Or for some reason it makes them depressed.
Looking after yourself is important, and taking medication is a form of looking after yourself in order to stay alive and keep healthy, and by not doing that, I was putting myself at risk.
Sometimes you feel a bit down, sometimes one of those days where you just I can't be asked, and then you just leave it for tomorrow.
Until recently, I haven't had any issues with my medication due to the coming to uni, it's caused a bit of a issue.
Currently, I find it difficult because of like education and like because of my exam stress and stuff like that.
It's not easy, but I try and get through it every day.
Relationships, yeah, that's one. Going out, socializing, that's another one. I started becoming quite wary in my area about having my medication on me when I went to like sleepovers at friends and things like that.
It makes you feel bad about yourself not taking your medication because it's something you should be able to do and something you should have control over. And then as soon as you feel like you're incapable of doing that, you kind of feel like you're incapable of doing a lot of things, because taking medication should just be like brushing your teeth.
For the test that looked at how our brains work, the scores between HIV positive and negative young people were similar.
But some of us who were very sick as babies performed less well.
Test results like this do not mean people will do badly at school or have long-term problems.
We don't know the impact on everyday life, but we do know people can catch up.
Just because you have an issue with cognition doesn't mean that you're any worse than anyone else. It just means that you just need a little bit of help getting there.
I feel like it's the hospital experience as a kid and the constant burden of being ill and seeing your whole family go through you being ill. If I wasn't ill as a kid, I feel like I wouldn't have these sort of traumas now. Whereas if people with HIV weren't ill as a kid, they don't have that trauma, so it's not going to affect them the same way it affected me.
A lot of young people worry about moving from child to adult services, but most of us that have made the change say there is nothing to worry about.
It was quite an easy transition, essentially. They told me all about it. They treat you the same as in the children ward, except they treat you with a little bit more respect.
I feel with the adult clinic you have more freedom because like you come by yourself.
Pediatrics is very rushed, but adult care, I get like a 30-minute appointment.
I didn't have to go there with my mum all the time and just take more responsibility on myself. So yeah, that was good, yeah.
I was transitioned from a young age due to my doctor retiring. My adult care clinic was a sexual health ward, which meant that I had to be there with people that had come for screening, and it was just kind of daunting, especially for a young 14-year-old male.
I prefer it to pediatrics. The whole transitioning was not fun. I like my doctor though, she's pretty chill. After the transition, there are still some gaps in knowledge.
Things like the names of medicines, side effects, and understanding blood tests like CD4 counts and viral loads.
But as adults, many more of us are organising and managing our care on our own.
We always knew we were like everyone else.
But some weren't so sure.
Now there's research which shows that we are like other young people.
Yes, there are things we have to deal with.
But even with that, we are as strong as everyone else. Even those of us who have been down or have struggled at school know that HIV can't hold us back. We can be whoever we want to be.